Dangerous materials come through your community every day, and there are no laws requiring companies to tell you about it. WSBT 22's Kelly Stopczynski is looking into this for us tonight. And Kelly, one example is crude oil.
And Jennifer, take a look here. This is what happened last week in Virginia when a train hauling crude oil derailed and exploded. Trains carrying crude oil pass through St. Joseph and Elkhart counties every day. First responders and railroad companies say the likelihood of an accident happening here very slim, but they still have to prepare for the worst. Every day, dozens of trains barrel through Napanee on this CSX line. And Napanee's fire chief says the crude oil train that exploded in West Virginia might have been one of them.
Through the reports, we've heard that it went through Kosciuszko County on a CSX line, obviously. So chances are it may have went through Napanee.
Federal law requires railroad companies to report to state emergency response agencies when trains carrying more than 1 million gallons of crude oil pass through their jurisdiction. But Indiana's Department of Homeland Security is not commenting about the West Virginia incident and any relationship to Indiana. That train was carrying 3 million gallons.
We just assume that every train that goes through Napanee has some type of hazardous material on it.
Lehman says all firefighters are required to have a minimum level of hazmat training, and that's how they prepare. Just across the county line, trains carrying crude oil and dozens of other hazardous materials also pass through Granger on this Canadian national track. Clayfire Territory says it has an idea of what's coming through, but never before it's already here.
Upon our request, they will provide us with a commodity flow study. And what that does is that gives us information on all the amount of hazardous materials that flow through the rail line.
All the rail lines are required to give those annual reports to emergency responders upon request, months after the fact. And most railroad companies and the federal government also provide training.
CN has also been very helpful in getting our guys out to some specialized training classes out in Pueblo, Colorado.
And those annual reports about what is coming through our area are extremely confidential. I asked Norfolk Southern, Canadian National, and CSX today for copies of theirs. All three companies told me they do not release that information to the public for security and competition reasons.
I thought this was interesting because you also found out that the railroad companies themselves don't get a choice when it comes to finding out what they're hauling.
That's right. It's called common carrier status. So federal law mandates railroad companies to haul hazardous materials if the company asks the railroad line to do that and they provide a safe car. Many of those cars you see hauling crude oil, those don't belong to the railroads. Those belong to other companies, and as long as they pass all the federal safety standards, they cannot say no.
They have to haul it.
Yes, they have to. Very interesting. Kelly, thank you.